Oh, I think the Congress is a great opportunity for people to plan global campaigns or regional campaigns, but work and to get ideas from each other about what they've been working on, what they've found works, and what are problems for consumers that they can work on together.
I guess I'm most looking forward to having all the consumer delegates from across the world who I've been in touch with over email that are working on similar food issues, and also having them here in Australia to meet them personally, but also to introduce them to the people that I work with in Australia and other NGOs and other sort of food marketing academics or obesity academics, so that we can work together to develop strategies for our campaigns relating to food marketing.
I think it's really exciting to know that I'm going to be in a room with 400 delegates that all have a passionate interest in consumer affairs. So I guess I'm hoping to meet like-minded people, get some fresh ideas for my campaigns, and learn some things that people are doing in other areas as well.
I'm really looking forward to meeting a whole range of people from overseas who are interested in the campaign against unethical marketing of pharmaceuticals, and particularly learning about the different ways that pharmaceutical companies market drugs overseas, and I guess the ways that they're looking at countering those practices.
So many companies, so many large multinationals work across borders, so many government agencies at the international level work across borders. It's very important for the consumer movement to run its campaigns across borders as well, and Choices is keen to be involved in those sorts of campaigns, especially in the food area, in the pharmaceutical area, and in the area of sustainable consumption.
Food marketing to children is probably Choice's biggest food campaign, and it's something that we've been working on for many years. I guess we're quite concerned about the impact that food marketing can have on children's food preferences, and then in turn whether or not they develop obesity or become overweight. It's something that the many CI, Consumers International member organisations, are concerned about, and we'd all like to see some form of, I guess, improvement in the way food marketing is regulated to children, just to prevent the impact that it can have on their health.
Well, I'm currently working on our Fair Go Fees campaign, which is a really exciting campaign, I think, because it allows consumers to stand up to big banks and say they're not happy with the fees that they've been charged. And we've had over 25,000 people take action on that campaign, and the banks have responded. They've cut some of their fees, they've reduced fees for concession accounts, and we think there's even going to be more action. So it's a campaign that's already had some successes, but I think there's still more successes to come in the future.
Well, we've got a lot of priorities, but one interesting one is that Australia is looking at reshaping the entire consumer protection framework. There's a big review going on at the moment at the Commonwealth Government level, and we've been putting a lot of work into that. And one of the real issues here for consumers is the complexity of products these days, and the difficulty of making choices and knowing the hidden attributes of those products which catch them out.
Our main campaign at the moment is on the unethical marketing of pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of interesting ways that drug companies in Australia try to increase the use of their drugs, which is certainly not in the interests of consumers. Consumers want to know that when they go to the doctor, they're being prescribed a drug based on the best independent information available, and what's going to be best for them in their circumstances.
The problem with intellectual property is that the policy isn't actually being decided upon with consumer representatives at the table. We're up against industry lobby groups who have a lot of funding and are in a much better position to actually globally assert their priorities. The idea of the IP event was to, one, inform people who might be interested in the area of IP. What are some of the main problems with IP policy? What are the main impacts on consumers of IP policy? And this, it can affect medicine, access to medicine. It can affect access to education, access to knowledge, access to technology, and also access to entertainment.